Hey, what's up everybody? So yesterday I went to do a job. I worked on a aquarium that I thought was really cool and I wanted to share it with you guys. So take a look. So right off the bat, just look at this tank. Look how beautiful it is. It just got it has such presence. So I mean, we got the standard fish in here. You have your tangs, you have your, some butterfly fish, chromis, all stuff that you see at your local fish store. So nothing too crazy. You see a Valentini puffer there. So there are plenty of corals in this tank, but nothing out of the ordinary, nothing too hard to keep, mostly softies. So, you've got your leather corals. There are some anemones in here, some zoas and things like that, some gorgonians. I love that bar gooby there. He's really cool looking. But nothing too crazy, no LPS or SPS in this tank, and that's for good reason. There are certain fish in here that would pick on those types of corals. The softies do excellent in this tank because it does have high nitrates and high phosphates, has a lot of bioload, and that soft coral does a great job of filtering the tank. Because when you have something like this, a horned shark in your tank, you need all the help with filtration that you can get, because these guys, they produce a ton of waste. And what's really cool is if we can look in here, back towards there, you see that guy right there? That's a Colombian catfish. They look a bit like a shark, and he definitely thinks he's a shark. Those two are inseparable. They're always hanging out together. I swear that catfish thinks he's a shark. It's too funny. Now, originally there was 3 sharks total in this tank, which all came from eggs and that hatched and grew. Unfortunately, 2 of them we had to rehome because they outgrew this tank. So we're just stuck. We're just left with the 1 now, and you can see he's starting over. He's got 2 more shark eggs here, and he'll be hatching those out and growing those out as well. And when they become too big for the tank, there's an aquarium that we donate them to, and they're much appreciative to that. Now, because I started to work on the tank, the shark is out. He thinks he's going to be fed, but you can just kind of get a glimpse of the size of him, from this video here. He is pretty massive, and pretty soon we'll have to rehome him. He's doing fine right now. He's not bothering anybody. The other 2 got aggressive, so that's why they had to go. He's doing fine so far, but eventually I think that, that'll change and we'll have to rehome him. But he thinks he's going to get fed, so he's a little bit active now. So badass. As far as the corals go, he hasn't knocked any of them over. They've all pretty much withstood his rampaging. We just added that zoa right there to the tank. That's doing well. And look at this leather coral. Look at this toadstool leather. The thing is massive. It's way bigger than my hand. But yeah, I mean, not only do these corals look great and give it more of a natural vibe, but they really do provide a critical role as far as filtration. And we really depend them a lot, and we're going to be putting a lot more soft corals in here in the future. See, look at that Kenya tree. I mean, it's just taken off. That started with just a couple pieces, and it's just gotten huge. I don't think I've ever really seen Kenya tree stack up like that. So, oh, and did I mention he also has eels in this tank as well? He has a snowflake eel, and I think he's got 2 zebras. You can see the tail of the zebra down there. They all seem to get along okay. They're not bothering the fish or anything like that. But yeah, he also has eels in the tank as well. Now, I just did a test, and this is my dilution. So nitrates and phosphates are really high. So nitrates and phosphates are really high, like I expected. We're only here once a month, so I'm going to go ahead and do a 50% water change just because we pretty much have to. There's a lot of bioload in this tank. A lot of big animals, and it gets fed pretty heavily, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a 50% water change. I have 300 gallons here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the hoses ready, and let's start this water change. Now let's take a look at the filtration, what powers this whole tank. Right here we have where the overflow section is. You got 3 big areas for filter socks to go. I'm gonna go ahead and change those out because they're pretty nasty, and put some brand new ones with some floss. You have a section there where you can put some filter media. Protein skimmer's working overtime in this tank. It's just filled up crazy like. We have a refugium going, but all the chaeto is gone from there. And then you just have your reactors, and it runs on an Apex system too. So got this protein skimmer outside, and boy, it stinks so bad. Oh my God. It's really nasty, but that's a good sign the skimmer's working. It's just just rancid, and there's a lot of thick grime in there. So I think this is about like maybe 2 weeks worth. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and clean that out. It's pretty nasty. Clean all this filtration out. I'm gonna work on the filtration for a little bit, and then we'll get that water change started. So as we're draining here, look who totally forgot about, but we also have a stingray in here. There's a lot going on in this tank, guys. Let me see if I can get a better shot. Now there's a stingray right there. Catfish went right over him. He buries himself. He does a really good job of keeping the sand clean because he's constantly burying himself. He used to get picked on by some of the tangs, but he's doing all right now. He's been in here for quite a bit. Another cool little element to this tank. It's just so much going on. It's crazy. There's a shark. Shark doesn't seem to bother him either. Everybody seems to be playing nice for now. And this is pretty much him all day. He just buries himself. You can, barely make out where he's breathing from, where his eyes are. That's pretty much where he spends his day right there. Unless it's time to eat, he'll come out a bit more. So look who's playing peekaboo with me, the snowflake eel. I think everybody thinks they're about to get fed, so there's a lot more activity in the tank right now. So we drained and now we are filling up. We did about 50% water change here. I'm gonna go ahead and fill up now. It was a good refresh. I think, and they must smell something in the water because everybody's going crazy. Even the stingray's out thinking, wondering what's going on. So we got it all filled up. Everybody looks good, except this eel here is wilding. He is acting crazy. I noticed that the zebra eels were kind of pushing him out. I think he's just really excited from thinking he's gonna get fed.
He can enter wisely. Come here, buddy. All right. Other way. It matches everything.
Yeah. Beautiful. There you go, buddy. So as I was doing the service here, the customer came and brought a fish. Now this is a parrotfish he's been wanting in the tank for a long time. He was able to get it from the aquarium store, and he's really, really happy about it. So I hope it does well. Look at this eel just swimming all around like a madman. Well, don't go over that overflow. What is he doing? I'm not gonna feed you, bud. Absolutely beautiful. And you wonder why, like this, they're so cool to have in an aquarium. They're just so, awesome. Here comes the crane gang, coming to pay me a visit as I leave. They got their baby with them. Not so baby anymore. Look like she's getting a lot bigger now. All right, so we're all set here. This is the best I've ever seen this tank look. I'm really excited to come back. I'm really excited to come back in a month and to see how that fish is doing, how well it's acclimated. I think he's got the tank exactly where he wants it. He's got all his dream fish there. It's really a cool thing to witness. When somebody kind of reaches the end of their goals for what they want with their aquarium. And that's a pretty cool feeling. It takes a long time to get there. It's a really fun job to do, and it's one of my favorite jobs for sure. So I'll definitely be keeping you guys posted on how this tank is doing. It's a hot one out today, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit the road because, man, it's brutal out here in South Florida. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.